to the Efed podcast, the podcast exploring our fantasy wrestling hobby, where the wrestling is written, but the characters are real.
Welcome back, everybody. Episode 75 of the broadcast. So excited you decided to join us today on the show. I've got Brian, my main man, my co-host, my business partner, my buddy. Brian's on the scene. Brian, how you doing, buddy?
I am doing fantastic, sir. How are you?
I am doing well. I had a great 4th of July weekend. Hope everyone out there did as well, or Canada Day, if you're on the Great White North.
Unless you're Bret Hart.
Brian, famous Bret Hart hater. We're going to be talking to George today on the show. So excited to bring it to you. The handler of Cancer Giles, famously of the Egg Bandits. It's George of the Egg Bandits.
Ooh, not of the jungle, but he will steal your eggs, apparently.
Or he will egg you.
He'll steal your eggs and throw them at you.
Even worse. We got George on the show, and then not only that, guys, but today on the Spotlight segment, we've got Fight NYC. Excited to bring it to you. They're competitive written roleplay fed. We're going to talk about them in detail to see if they're one you want to check out for yourself.
Fantastic.
And, of course, we've got the question of the week. If you had to book your character against a real wrestler that is the most like them, who would it be? Ooh. And what about a wild and weird matchup? Brian, do you got some answers for a question of the week this week? A real wrestler most like Scott Douglas.
Oh, man. This might be cheating, but like a three-way between Raven and CM Punk?
My head went right to Raven, too, so I think that's where we're going to meet in the middle.
So here's the question, though. What about Mikey Unlikely?
Oh, I mean, most like them. I hate to admit it, but it's probably The Miz at this point.
Oh,
it was The Rock for a long time, and then it's kind of switched to The Miz with the goofiness and the being one-upped all the time.
So a three-way between The Rock and The Miz.
See? We're throwing those three-ways around.
Everyone loves a good triple threat, right?
What about a weird and wild matchup, Brian? Who do you think you'd match up against with Scott Douglas?
Boogeyman.
The Boogeyman, that is wild and weird.
Yeah. Both wild
Scott
and
Douglas driving his ass through the mat. I can see it.
Oh, so wild and weird. Did you hear about this? You read about this? Wild and weird.
Have you heard about this? Have you read about this?
Mikey Unlikely.
Being the consummate heel that I am, I want to see my ass get slammed and beat. I would say Kane.
Ooh, it's gotta be. It's
gotta be Kane. I can see the choke slam from hell and the 1, 2, 3.
Hey, it's gotta be Kane. It's gotta be a choke slam.
And we're gonna get to everybody else's answers, and we're gonna see who it's gotta be for them. I'm excited to bring it to you. Question of the week. Brian's. It's such a fun show. I'm so excited.
Super fun. Anytime you got a member of the Egg Bandits that you can air publicly, super fun.
Talk about that. The Egg Bandits episode, we did it with Bobby Dean, with George, and with Jake. And unfortunately, dudes couldn't make it. But
what is this? The NWO?
It is. Ridiculous couldn't make it either. So the Egg Bandits,
the Egg Bandit World Order.
The Egg Bandits episode was fun. It was wild. And if you're on our Patreon over at patreon.com/Efed podcast, you can hear it there, but it was a little too wild to air to the airwaves for everybody.
A little too weird. A little too wild, too weird. You read about this? You hear about this? A little too wild.
It's one of these weird and wild matchups.
Indeed. Mikey Unlikely meets the Egg Bandits.
So you can check that out on Patreon. But in the meantime, we're going to get to George. He tells a lot of fun stories. We have a great time. I try to hold him to just the mild stuff. I don't know how we do with that, Brian. I don't know how much you cut, but it's going to be a fun show regardless.
Yeah, you had to put the old restrictor plate on him.
We definitely did. I want to thank each and every one of our patrons over there at patreon.com/Efed podcast. Appreciate the support. We just did a Patreon event the other day where we watched some old wrestling and talked about some former questions of the week, and went through them with the whole patron.
Good time, fun time. Everyone enjoyed it. I don't care what they say.
That's right. So also want to thank our other sponsors on the show. Really appreciate you. You're going to hear some words from them very shortly. Make sure you guys check them out. Support them because they're supporting us, and we really appreciate the support. Brian, can I fit any more supports in there?
Athletic supporter.
There you have it, guys. Before we get into it, here is a word from our sponsors.
The Efed podcast is a totally free podcast that drops each and every single week for your e-wrestling ears on a multitude of apps. If you'd like to support the show, however, the best way to do so is over at patreon.com/Efed podcast. For as little as $3 a month, you can support both Brian and myself as we crank out more e-wrestling content with perks such as early releases and special Discord designations. And if that's not enough EW action for you, jump up to the $10 a month tier and you can get a free EWT's t-shirt design, early and ad-free editions of the show, as well as access to our monthly Q&As, bad graps, and more. And if you'd like to be a sponsor on the show and get your ad played, the best way to do that is the sponsor level on Patreon, with all of the previous perks, plus weekly commercials on the show. Check it out over at patreon.com/Efed podcast. We greatly appreciate your consideration.
Occupy Pro Wrestling, putting the smart back into smart mark since 2012, with a community on Discord and message boards, merchandise, a weekly vodcast on Twitch, and much more. Check out everything from us and our site partners at OccupyProWrestling.com.
Efed Tees, the #1 source for Efed merchandise, offering custom merchandise made for your wrestler, tag team, stable, or Efed. Whether you want a high-quality t-shirt, face mask, hoodie, hat, it doesn't matter. We can help you out over at efedtees.com. Do you have a custom logo for your wrestler? Awesome. We're going to slap it on a shirt and help you out real fast. If not, no problem at all. We have a custom design service too. You can work with a graphic artist to get the perfect design made for your character. Go on over to EWTs.com and click on Want a Shirt to get your shirt started.
For over a decade, Defiance Wrestling has redefined what an E-Fed can be. An angle fed with a rich history and a colorful cast of characters, Defiance Wrestling offers a drama-free environment with some of the most experienced and talented writers in the history of the game, with a level of consistency that few other promotions can offer. With on-time events, micro offerings, and even a long-form in-character radio show, as well as a forum home on the classic FWrestling.com, nobody, I said it, nobody does fantasy wrestling quite like Defiance. Come, see what all the buzz is about. Come check out DefianceWrestling.com. You heard me. It's DefianceWrestling.com.
All right, everybody, it's time for the Efed podcast spotlight segment. We're putting the spotlight on a Fed that's out there, checking them out, talking about them, and seeing if they're a good fit for you. If you want to check them out,
You.
This week we're talking about Fight NYC. Brian, it's a role play Fed. I'm excited to bring them to you. I'm looking at the website as we speak, and you can find the website, of course, at fight-now.com. Any Fed putting some little bit of money, a little bit of nice graphics into their website, getting that .com really helps it out, I think.
.com. It's premiere.
It's over.
It's super over.
Well, Brian, Fight NYC is a season formatted Fed with large quarterly pay-per-views coinciding with the culmination of each season.
Oh, I like that already. That sounds like a real bi-weekly situation, kind of.
They do have weekly shows. You're wrong there.
Oh.
Every Saturday night.
Well, fuck me then.
They do have weekly shows every Saturday night with the quarterly shows and smaller, especially theme shows along the way in between.
Very nice. And you mentioned already this is RP versus Angled, a big thing we talk about here. This is a role play Fed.
Yeah, Brian, it's a role play Fed. I'm checking out the website right now as we speak, and of course, it's fight-now.com. Looking at the main page, you can click the role play section, and over there you can see what's been posted recently.
Very nice. So as far as rules, regular matches, etc., what were we talking about?
Rules are going to be 1 RP per match. For singles matches, tag and multi-man are 1 RP per team member.
Oh,
no word caps on anything with the exception of the Bronx division that are word capped at 2K.
Oh, South Bronx, South Bronx.
We celebrate diversity and will not tolerate any racism, homophobia, transphobia, ableism, grooming, sexual harassment, sexual solicitation, etc., in character, or, as Brian likes to say, ook.
Ook. /
Gotta keep the gimmicks up. Our handlers are as varied as the characters they write, and they want Fight to be the place where everyone can feel safe. If you're a jerk, they're going to feed you to the Balrog.
Active championships.
As far as active championships, Brian, they've got the Manhattan Championship, which is their world title. They've got a Brooklyn Championship, their IC title, but it's a hardcore championship as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then they've got the Bronx Championship. It's the one with the 2K word cap. They've got the Queens Championship, which is the anti-championship. This belt is more of a parasite than an honor, and you can only lose it by winning.
Huh?
This is more of a storytelling device for the writers. The Queens Champion picks their own opponents.
Okay.
Interesting concept. We'll have to get more on that one. The Islands Championship, team belt, stable belt, can be defended by 2, 3, or 4 people at a time. It's the old Freebird rules. It's nice to see the classic championship return. They've obviously got a theme here with all the boroughs of New York. And they've also finally got the Outlaw Championship. It's where they fight in an underground pit. Some of their top wrestlers, Brian, in no specific order. We'll go back and forth on these guys.
Ooh, let's do it. Let's do it. See if you get the bad names and I get the okay ones.
They got Paul Montori.
Murphy Doyle Marr.
There you go. Vodka Black.
Apathy.
Enforcer.
Brandon Moore.
Drusilla White.
Annika Swan.
Graham Clausen. Graham Clausen, throwback to the TA days.
Pixie Sloan.
That's it, Brian. Well, not too bad this week.
Some decent names. I like them. Fight NYC sounds pretty good. Pretty good at fight-now.com.
That's right. Fight-now.com and at FightNYC _ on Twitter. Don't forget to check them out, guys. This website is actually pretty cool. You can check it out. It looks like it's got a couple of different links you can click, and then once you're a member, you can get in that locked button.
Ooh, you get that exclusive. Oh, this website is dope.
Yeah, right? So the additional info on what sets them apart. Fight NYC is run by a staff of 5 people, all with equal say on what's been, and all who have been playing the game since the late 90s in email feds. The core of our roster have known each other since they were kids and have cultivated a very family-like atmosphere that's low on drama but high on good nature, taking the piss out of one another. They strive to be fair, honest, and treat their handlers with the way we ourselves like to be treated. And when you come to fight, you will join a community of people who love all aspects of the game and support one another, even in competition, by brainstorming ways to make matches and feuds against each other better and beneficial for all backgrounds. They are welcome to new people, and they're excited to integrate them into the Fed. So check them out, guys, at fight-now.com. There it is. At FightNYC _ on Twitter. Reached out recently and excited to be featured on the podcast. We're excited to bring them to you. If you're looking for a 1RP weekly RP Fed, check out fight-now.com.
100%. And if you like colorful role plays or not, I see both here. The world is your oyster over at fight-now.com.
There you go. At FightNYC _
Did you know that EWTs.com is the only home of Defiance Wrestling merchandise? Actual, factual Defiance merchandise? It's true! EWTs.com is your #1 source for e-wrestling t-shirts and more. Design a shirt for your favorite character, tag team, or stable, and sell them shits online for actual, factual money. Don't believe me? Let's ask this random woman on the street. Hey, what do you think about EWTs.com?
What are you doing? I don't want to do this.
I just wanted to talk to you about all the benefits of using EWTs.com.
Seriously? I'm busy. I don't have time for this right now.
But ordering from EWTs takes no time at all. Honey, work with me here. EWTs, come on.
I don't even know what this is. What is an EWT?
Well, you can also find them at efedtees.com.
Or is it OO? Is it OO tees? This is dumb.
It's not dumb. It's an amazing idea. An idea you can be a part of at home.
You are dumb.
You know, design shirts for your favorite character or tag team, or buy the shirt of your favorite characters.
What do you mean characters? Are you a child?
Only at EWTs.com. Just check it out, please.
Please close the door behind you when you leave.
Thanks for the help, babe. For more info, go to EWTs.com.
And we're back with another edition of the Efed podcast question of the week. You got Brian and I's answers on the top of the show, and now we're going to get to your answers. Brian, it's one of my favorite segments. We get to hear from our fans, hear from the crowd, hear what they think about e-wrestling.
Hear what they think, judge them silently, and pretend that their answers are good.
Well, up first on the Discord side of things is Pat Cassidy. It's Cat Pass.
Oh, it's Joe.
It's Joe.
Joe says the answer Brian is going to give. Hey, that's me. the answer Brian is going to give for me, Pat Cassidy versus anyone and a pink slip on a pole match.
I'm here for it, Brian. I'm in on that idea.
Honestly, that might be the next Ballyhoo Booze event. He says the real answer is Pat Cassidy versus Dusty Rhodes, Ned Reform versus William Regal, Freddie Kilgore, who? Versus Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, you know something, brother.
Joe is fired, brother.
You've heard the pink slip on a pole earlier. What about the bouncer on a pole?
Oh, huh?
His ass is getting bounced.
Speaking of things that bounce,
Bobo's up next.
Boobadine versus Sonny. It's kind of the battle of the tits, right? But not old school Sonny, but current. Oh God, come on, current day train wreck. Sonny side up. For those who know, Sonny. We can even do it in a vat of Jello or chocolate pudding.
Bobo's all about that action.
Isn't Sunny not having sunny days currently? Isn't she incarcerated?
It's always sunny in the Texas area. We'll see.
It's always sunny in the penitentiary.
Up next is the Shadow Pope. It's Pete.
Pete! I hear tell he may have wrote a book. I think it's about the Pope or something.
It's about the Pope. Check it out on Amazon. One Chance, Legend of Valerian's Garden.
He says Impulse versus Vader. Imagine the heat that Japan-based big Vern Vader could get on one of the smallest babyface main eventers of all time. The question was, most like them. I stand by it. But to fit the question better, 1999 Eli Flair, or as I used to call him, Ellie, versus 1989 Terry Funk in a barbed wire match.
Now, is the barbed wire match in 99 or 89?
Oh, good question. Buy Pete's book for the answer.
Up next is It's Meg. Damn it.
Because since I fucked up my answer. Come on, Meg, with the potty mouth.
Come on, man. Watch your mouth.
This is a goddamn family show.
With the profanities.
Where's right to censor when you need him? Where is the good father?
Hit the music, Brian.
When you need him.
That's about it.
Isn't that about it? Yeah. My dog's not happy about those noises.
It's got to be Kane. Okay.
It's got to be Kane. She says, because she effed up, her answer, Brittany versus Bianca Belair would be a good matchup. And if she did not retire, Megan G versus Triple H. Kind of a legend versus legend.
Meg, it's time to play the game.
It's time to play the game, and it's time to reassess who you view as legends.
Brian's not a Triple H fan either. Okay, so I see how it is. Any super solid heels who lasted like 10 years in a main event role, Brian's out on.
Oh, Triple H is cool, but I mean, he's no. Everyone shit on John Cena for 5 moves of doom, and Triple H had what, 6?
Hey, there was at least 7.
I mean, if you count that knee lift.
I do. Up next on Discord, it's Kevin R. He's coming up on the podcast schedule as well.
Oh, very nice. Future guest. He says Frenchie versus the Mountie.
It's gotta be Frenchie versus the Mountie.
I see what he did there. He also says Alex Bruder versus the Enforcer. Art Anderson. Double A.
That's all business, Alex Bruder versus the Enforcer.
Oh, very nice. Well, if it's all business, Alex Bruder, it's probably versus Alcoholics Anonymous, Arn Anderson.
I see what you did there. Oh, you can find Alex Bruder over at classic-wrestling.com. I'm excited for that interview, Brian, because we talked about it today. It's going to be the first one we can shill the shit out of Classic the whole time.
Very nice. I've ventured through and peeked through classic-wrestling.com. Seems like a really fun place.
It's a great time. And if you're looking for an RP Fed, check it out.
Check it out.
Up next, we got Rossi Orton. He's one of a kind.
He is indeed. Speaking of people who should check it out, he's not one. He's in Defiance. If you're in Defiance and you check it out, you're fired. And Ross might be fired. He says a wild and weird matchup would be Clyde Fox. That's the He-Too guy, right? He-Too.
Yeah, you got it.
Clyde Fox going 1-on-1 with The Undertaker.
That'd be an interesting matchup, just in the promos.
It'd be a shoot burial.
Oh.
With The Undertaker. And The Undertaker would shoot bury He-Too Clyde Fox.
Check the barrels. Check the burials.
Check the burials. New t-shirt.
Up next is Seth is Burns. It's Seth.
Every time I talk to him, it burns just a little bit. He says Oscar Burns versus either Doug Williams or Zack Sabre Jr.
Not bad matchups. I can see Burns and Sabre Jr. laying on the mat for 40 minutes at a time.
Isn't he currently injured?
Who's that?
Zack Sabre Jr.
I don't know.
Me either. Who knows what's going on in wrestling these days? Anyway, moving on up to the big man category within Seth's Man of 1,114 characters. Uriel Cortez versus the Great Khali. Uriel moves at light speed compared to him.
I don't know what you're talking about. Khali's a fast guy.
Oh yeah, that fucking that big chop just comes out of nowhere.
Boom! You never see it
out of nowhere. Little known fact: the first time out of nowhere was said by Michael Cole was not for the RKO; it was for that big overhand chop.
Little atomic drop cast fact for you.
So anyway, he's got so many more answers. Next up. Minute, which is spelled minute, so don't get it twisted. Minute versus Ricochet. So that's a bunch of flipping and flopping for sure.
Yep, for sure.
Compared to twists and turns, Oscar Burns, who doesn't do flips and flops. That's flipping and flopping. And Titanus versus Jordan. Sure. We'll call that Jordan. JORDYNNE. Jordan, my ass. Jordan Grace or Beth Phoenix.
It's just like spelling Brian with BRYANN. Brian. You're still Brian.
Well, I mean, if you use Y for Brian, you're already fucked up. So I don't know what to tell you after that.
With a Y, that's fucked.
Well, hey, tell him I'm sorry, but your parents named him wrong.
But they got me right. Mikey Unlikely. Okay, up next. At MDG Warren is up next. Modern Day Gladiators. Make sure you check that out at drivethrurpg.com.
Oh, the longest free this podcast.
That's probably why he answers any questions.
Exactly. That's why he changed his name to MDG. We got to explain it. Warren says, Brian can answer for my primary character. Deacon verse.
Ooh, he's giving you the option.
Yeah, he's really throwing it out to me. I mean, foolishly. So I'm going to say Deacon versus the reanimated corpse of Luthez.
There you go. Good luck against the zombie Deacon. But if anybody's got a shot against a zombie, it is Deacon, right?
It is Deacon. He's got the power of the Lord on the side.
Compels him.
All that good stuff. Yeah, yeah, the power of Christ compels Deacon for sure. That would have been the better answer, actually. Deacon versus Linda Blair. All right, so he continues the LE, which we all know as the Lunar Express, or you should know if you listen to his interview. The Lunar Express, I'd have to go with Lane/Eaton version of the Midnight Express. Ooh, little Express versus Express action.
Yeah, it sounds like a good match. Not only the Lunar Express, but the Midnight Express. They're very expressive, Brian.
Indeed.
We're going to get there quick, that's for sure.
that is for certain.
Up next is that masked guy, Brian.
Oh, and he says, since I've borrowed so much from different wrestlers, I'll go for Collider versus The Fiend. It would either be the most batshit amazing match of all time or an absolute stinker.
Anytime he adds "or" to the best, you know which way it's going to go.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I'm a big fan of Bray Wyatt, but I'm not going to sit here and vouch for his in-ring ability.
Well, I think it'd be an interesting matchup, so I'd pay to see that one.
For sure. I'd pay Mikey Buddy to see that one.
Up next is Ravage.
Oh, and he says, I would say probably against Ravage's pick base, Ciampa, or Eddie Kingston.
Man, I saw Ciampa live a couple times. Some of the best matches live. He's so good.
I'll take your word for it. His name is ridiculous.
Well, up next, Brian, we got Tony.
Tony with 5 A's.
Get it right.
.com. He says Dominic Sanders versus MJF. Okay.
All right.
I see you.
I see it. I'm with it.
He also says Carlos Ruiz versus, oh, come on, man. Tito Santana? For real?
Got to. It's the Strike Force breakup. Because Carlos Ruiz is basically Rick the Model. Awesome. Throwback. I like that. Up next, it's our guy, John.
John Thompson, TW Combat, a.k.a. Tom Johnson. Last week's interview, if you have not checked it out, be sure to do that very thing. It's out there. Do it. John Thompson versus Taz from the ECW days.
Okay.
That would be a good technical matchup with some brawling.
He wants to get tossed on his head.
I'm assuming either that or he really wants fuzzy singlet, long-haired Taz, like the Tasmanian Devil Taz.
I'm going to guess that's not the case, Brian.
I'm going to guess it is and giggle about it later.
Well, on the Twitter side of things, we're going to giggle about some things too. How's that for a segue? Over on Twitter, Brian, let's flip-flop. Why don't you hit me with some ats and I'll hit you with some answers.
Philip, let go at Armenian Beast.
Wild and weird is Jake the Snake Roberts. Jake brings his snake to the ring. Beast brings his rats. The whole plague. Ratatouille and her 7 sons. The ring is going to be covered in blood, snake blood, rat blood, and oh yes, plenty of human blood too.
If you're involving Jake the Snake, there's probably some wild and weird.
The classic Jake the Snake, not the current Jake the Snake.
Well, I mean, regardless, I don't think Jake's ever known as a bleeder, but he'll bring some weird to the ring.
Speaking of weird, Brian, up next we've got some Japanese names, some of my least favorite things to try to pronounce on the show, so we're going to have some fun with this one.
Oh, man, some of my favorite things to listen to be subjected to listing on the show. Up next, CR Wrestling at CRW717.
CRW717 future spotlight on the show. Keep your ears tuned to future episodes. Muto Turka against Kaiji Moto. We would kill each other's legs and the match would be a toss-up. In addition, we both use the Shining Wizard, and he more than I, and yet in my back pocket I have the sheer drop Northern Lights plum using a float over to cover.
Well, that's good. That's probably what'll get it.
That move really floated over my head, Brian.
Hey, I don't know that I knew more than 3 words in that whole thing, but anyway, up next.
I gotta get up with my Japanese wrestling.
Hey, the sweetest villain at Real Sister Sin.
And of course, you can get that t-shirt for Sierra Effin Silver over at tees.com. Danhausen or Gentleman Jarvis Cottonbelly. Danhausen for his nice evil shtick, and Jarvis for being a really nice guy. Very, very nice, very, very evil, very, very sinister. I love Danhausen. I hated him at first, and I absolutely love him now. He won me over.
I don't like his shtick in the ring. I like him as a video person.
YouTube guy.
Yeah, very nice, very evil YouTube impresario.
Davis, get the blimp. Okay. While a weird matchup, I'd say Roman Reigns, a goofy, happy character versus the head of the table, could make for some fun stuff.
For sure. I mean, because if you're going to get any food at that table, you should be a fun dinner guest.
Very, very good. Very, very full of food.
Hey, up next, I bought a G650. How you living? At Tweets by Tony 11.
Minoru Suzuki. Both Tony.
Nope.
Hashtag Ook.
Nope.
Pound sign.
Yes.
OOC Ook.
Yes.
Minoru Suzuki. Both Tony and Suzuki box and MMA away from the ring. And both are good guys off the clock, but total bastards in it. Speaking of total bastards, Brian, I hate you for that.
You got to get the gimmicks over. One way or another.
One way or another.
Speaking of gimmicks that have got to be forced over.
We got to get him out and over.
Mallet Garland at Magnum G 1999. His birth year, I'm assuming.
I love the at. I would want to face that complaining, whining, annoying little snowflake bitch, MJF. Because I'm better than him, and he knows it, and I'm nothing like him at all. I like it. It's a good correlation to his character.
It's solid, but his response still, like all his other responses, exhaust me. Up next, former guest on the podcast, Darren Zion. It's at Darren A. Matthews.
And Brian, he just put a picture, or he put a GIF up. I tried to screen cap the funniest way I could to pop you, so I hope you saw that and laughed.
I did, and it may have popped me until you said GIF, but all right.
Oh, it is a GIF.
It's not a GIF at all.
You don't even like GIFs, so shut up.
I don't, but here's the thing. It's not a GIF because it stands for graphic interface format or something like that.
I understand that, but the guy who invented it pronounced it GIF, so you can suck it.
Well, he's dumb and he can suck it.
So his answer is Matt Hardy.
Because he's an immortal blood feud.
He is. Huzzah.
Matt Hardy. Huzzah.
That's what he looks like he's saying in this picture.
Honestly, at this point, from what I've seen, the only person willing to degrade themselves enough to go from real fucking wrestling to this nonsense we do would probably be Matt Hardy. So I mean, he's poking at the right bear.
Candidate. That's for sure. I'm going to tap him for classic-wrestling.com.
So up next on the Twitter machine, as I've heard it be called, Sam Titanus Hamilton at Titanus Sam.
Titanus Sam, also in our Discord community. Brian, I hate you. Pound sign. Ook. Undertaker, the Striker, or Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah, blah blah. Or Stone Cold Steve Austin's personality, hands down. So Undertaker or Stone Cold for sure. For Sam Hamilton.
Hold on. So Undertaker as a striker. So the badass, whatever.
Yeah, the American Badass, right?
Or Stone Cold. So same thing.
Yeah, they're both going to brawl either way.
Yeah. Cool.
She also says any match with either would be awesome, but if I choose the stipulation, I'd most like to see a Monsters Ball fight.
So they fight a monster in a ball.
Brian's not up with current wrestling, and he's never seen a Monsters Ball match, so we'll move on from there.
Up next, Agent JVDR. It's at JVD Rooster.
The Rooster, Jan versus this man would be a Matt classic. It's William Regal on the GIF, Brian.
GIF.
I'll go on. I fought with interview guests on this one before, so don't start me.
Hey, it's not a Jaffix interface format.
Do you know whose show this is, Brian?
I do very, very well. But do you know who puts the show out?
You know what? It's a GIF. No, I'm kidding. Sticking to my GIF.
Up next, Victoria McKenzie. Not at Caitlin Marie Pro, but instead at Mainstream, I'm assuming.
This Mainstream. Victoria McKenzie versus either Viper or Piper Niven. Or 1990s era Bull Nakano with that super spiky hair. I like that.
I know one of those names.
Who's that?
Bull Nakano.
Oh,
Or Bull Nakano.
Don't watch anything current.
Not in the slightest. I don't really know Victoria McKenzie either, but yeah, that'd be cool.
Speaking of not very current, Brian.
Oh God. Just dregs of the past. 8-bit heels. And that's not what they're rendered in, that's what they're worth. Up next, Connor Fuse at Fire Flower Fuse.
At Fire Flower Fuse. Fuse Bros versus Young Bucks.
Yuck.
Gag me with a spoon. Connor Fuse versus Sami Zayn.
Yeah, you're halfway there.
All right. Let's go.
That's dope.
Connor Fuse versus Christian. Okay, now I'm with it. Tyler Fuse versus Edge.
Yeah. I mean, but the fuck then? Then where's the Fuse Brothers verse?
Edge and Christian.
Come on.
Come on, man.
God, Connor. Look, here's the thing, Roland. Here's the thing, Ross. I'm gonna need y'all to stop answering in character. I don't like it.
Come on, Roland. Get with old Joe in the unemployment line.
Speaking of unemployment, no, I have no bearing on this person at all. So the joke doesn't work. But up next is Daisuke. God, you had to stick me one, right?
Yep.
Daisuke Korichi.
There you go. Pretty good.
At D Korichi.
At Kenny Omega Man X, I would like to go one-on-one with him. Kenny Omega and I share some qualities that my Ka and him share as well. We have 4 championship belts. We're both arrogant, and we both have 10-star quality matches. 10 stars, Brian.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I believe the writer here may have 10-star quality matches. I can't believe that Omega does. Anyway.
You and me both. Moving on. That's going to wrap us up for the question of the week. Of course, you can answer the Efed Podcast question of the week each and every week on the Twitter at the Efed Podcast. It's always pinned to the top of that profile for easy access. You can answer right there in the comments, or you can check out that profile, click on that Discord link, hop into the Discord, and answer right there if you don't want to be limited to all of the limitations that Twitter brings.
Twitter limits gimmicks.
Twitter limit gimmicks. New t-shirt, EWTs.com. Guys, make sure you answer next week's question of the week so you can be featured on the show here in a short period of time. Thank you guys for answering. Check it out. Question of the week.
Hey, what's up? This is Jay William, head coach of TW Combat Sports. You listen to the Efed podcast.
Welcome, everyone, to another edition of the Efed podcast interview series. Today, we're joined by George. George is the handler of Cancer Giles, longtime egg bandit, Efed legend, if you will. Everywhere I go, I'm regaled by stories of the egg bandits and how they crack everyone up along the way with their egg-cellent stories. Okay, I'll stop. George, how you doing, buddy?
Fantastic. How are you?
Doing great, buddy. I'm glad to have you on. Of course,
Glad to be back.
Some of you have heard George before if you're a patron, because otherwise we could not air the Egg Bandits episode.
Jake was such a dirty rotten. I didn't know he was that mean-spirited.
I don't know if it was just Jake there, but we'll throw the blame on him.
Bobby was also pretty upset.
And Doozer, too, let me tell you.
Doozer, oh, God.
He was rough.
He couldn't even talk. That's how mad he was. Couldn't see him. Couldn't talk the whole night.
It was crazy. What a crazy episode it was. But it was a great time, and I was excited to get you back on the show, have a few beers, and talk e-wrestling. Cheers to that.
Can't wait.
So, George, we'll start at the beginning. How did you become a fan of pro wrestling?
Pro wrestling, I guess much like anybody else, I was a child. Saw it on
Really?
TV Saturday. Yes, at one point I was. It was. It may have seemed like it was many years ago, which it was. But no, I just saw it on Saturday morning, and it was, oh my God, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen. Then I remember I was just thinking, because obviously you're giving me a little lead in, if you will. I was like, I had the WrestleMania like 1 through 8 on VHS, and I thought it was like the end. Like if my house was ever burning,
That's
like,
the one thing.
what would I get out of there? Like obviously the WrestleMania tapes. Like I was number one, no matter what. And I just grew up watching it, and obviously Attitude Era was awesome and all that fun until it got swept them at the end. Kind of fell away from it.
Right.
I guess after 2003, 4, I kind of when I got out of fucking e-wrestling, I guess, for a while. And then I guess I haven't really gotten back into watching wrestling, I guess, since way back then. I watch it every once in a while. Like I watch WrestleMania and shit like that, but
Yeah, big shows.
I haven't watched like Raw or AEW or whatever, anything like that yet. So some New Japan. I've been watching New Japan.
Well, what about your favorite wrestlers back then? Were you a Hulkamaniac?
I was a Hulkamaniac, of course. I loved Rick Rude just because my mom would watch it, like, turn this shit off right now. And I was like, oh my God, Rick Rude is the man for making my mom this mad. Like, I can't do that. So Rick Rude can while I'm watching TV. This is great. So loved Rick Rude, loved Mr. Perfect, just pompous, arrogant, shitheads, I guess you could say. Loved Ultimate War, loved Papa Shango. I was a total, character mark, if you will.
Yeah, big gimmicks.
Yes, very, very gimmicky, yes. But then, loved Ric Flair, loved watching WCW too, obviously loved Sting. Who didn't love Sting? But, yeah, I would say those guys, I love Shawn Michaels.
A lot of the classics. You like you like the highlights. Play me the hits.
I don't know. I don't know, anybody, name an indie wrestler that you're like, who the fuck's an indie wrestler? I don't know any indie wrestlers. Which probably gets me no credit or clout in our circle.
Give me your Mount Rushmore top 4 all time.
Top 4 all time. God, Stone Cold, Flair, HBK, maybe Andre. I loved Andre the Giant.
Andre the Giant was the man.
Loved Andre. I feel like I got to throw a big guy in there.
Yeah, I like it. His head's gonna be much bigger than the rest of them, too.
Isn't it? He's going to be his own little mountain. It's going to be the 3 and then the 1. That's how big he was.
Well, hey, I like that. That's a good mix, and you got a lot of workers, and then Andre.
Andre, yes.
So, moving into e-wrestling, how did you find e-wrestling, and what drew you in?
My buddy a buddy of mine in high school, I guess, was like, dude, do you know what this is? And he sent me an email, and it was I think he was Hulk Hogan. I was like, no, I don't know what this is, but what is it? He's like, you write like a character. So of course I was Rick Rude, And it was just me and him, like, this is what they do. And there's other people do this? Like, what do you mean other people do this? This is kind of weird, but hey, it was like the beginning of the internet, if you will. So it was kind of neat in that regard. But he got me into it. My first Fed was Show. I couldn't name another, obviously, real character, if you will.
Yeah.
Or fake real character. I could probably, I'm sure Ultimate Warrior was there. Hulk Hogan was probably obviously there, guys like that.
It's awesome. So at first you got into it and is it email only? There's no website. You're just getting emails.
No website. Yes, just getting emails. And then it was, well, what's the next step for this? Then it was like, oh my God, there's a website. People have websites. Real made up characters. Like, what is this? This is crazy. Who are these guys? I never heard of these guys before. And they're like, no, you create your own character. So I can't be Rick Rude.
Are you sure?
What about
is Greg the Hammer Valentine available?
Please, please. Give me somebody. And then I guess that's how I remember my first character was Tommy Hyde, HYD, kind of like Jekyll and Hyde, if you will.
Okay.
So long ago. And then right after him, it was Giles.
So almost right away, you've been Giles since like what year?
Since 2000, maybe 99.
It's a long ass run. That's as long as I've been playing the game, and I've.
Well, I've never had another character. I never thought to have another character. I would just change Giles, if you will. I wouldn't change. Doesn't need another name. He's got an idiot's name to begin with. And it's just like, you wrote him here, you wrote him there, you built his book, if you will, and then just never really thought to.
Well, let's stop and talk about your first character real quick. Was there a gimmick, or was it just you trying to not be Rick Rude?
I left. It was Tommy 420 Hyde, so you can take a guess of what he did. He was very good at checkers.
You're a big Rob Van Dam fan.
Yes, at that point I was. And who wasn't back then? I mean, that was an
for sure. One of my favorites of all time.
Fucking crazy good. Plus, I was in Philly, so it was like I knew about ECW like more so than anybody else at the time, anyway.
All right, Sam. Man.
Love Rob Van Dam. Love her. Yeah, right. Is he bleeding? First blood on Efed podcast, if you will.
That would be. It certainly would be.
Oh God, I definitely don't want that.
So your first character was a stoner type and athletic.
Yes. So I always had this I remember I wrote Rob Van Dam, but I wrote he was actually Jean-Claude Van Damme's brother. Because why wouldn't he be?
Yeah, it's the same name.
It
makes sense.
The internet, it makes sense. And I can remember being like, all right, this isn't going to, this has to change. I can't just keep switching out between Rob and Jean-Claude Van Damme. This isn't, I was 17 at the time. What was I thinking? Madness. So then Tommy Hyde became my character, if you will. And then Tommy Hyde became Cancer Giles. And then Cancer Giles became Cancer Giles. Cancer Giles. Cancer Giles.
Over and over and over again.
Yeah. I don't think I ever retconned his history. I just kept writing him as if, he was never always going to go back 10 years in his life, or he's 25 again, or he's 30 again. It was just always
the evolution of him getting older
there, and it's still the same guy now, which is crazy. I couldn't I couldn't write his story from day one, if you will. I'd fucking lose my mind.
But the fact that you handle one character throughout 20 years just tells you it's almost like a totally different game for you. For everybody else, it was, hey, I'm trying to beat this next role play. For you, it's constantly trying to evolve one character with age.
One character, yeah, if you will.
So that's
not with not as a strong emphasis on, he's 39 now, he's starting to get arthritis, or his libido is fucking waning, shit like that. It's just just cognizant of what happened to him before, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never really, most of my fucking role plays are the bandits sitting around, a campfire telling horror stories. To all the rookies that are coming through the door. Sit down here. Got a story to tell you.
We got lots of stories, no doubt.
Lots.
So Cancer Giles gets a start as a evolution from your first character. what are some of the early highlights for Cancer? Like first feds and hit the big ones for sure.
First big time Fed, the big time Fed to me was Sold Out. They had a little dollar sign where the S was. It was pretty cool. They had like their own website, like very basic graphics, but graphics nonetheless.
Hey, they had a menu on the left. It was crazy.
You could click buttons on there. It wasn't just a picture of a website. You're like, oh, if I click roster, am I going to see my? There's my guy's name.
And that's all it was. Yeah, it's just a name on the roster.
He is on the roster. This is sick. This is so sick. And I remember I was in there. I won like their hardcore belt, their jobber belt, if you will.
Yeah.
And then like there was like a big War Games thing. I don't know, but like a big wrestling match inside of the cage, which I think the one guy turned on us, whatever. But like that was when I first started my first stable. I don't even know what the fuck it was called. But after that, it was like, whatever I do this, I'm just going to start a stable because there's five. So much easier to do this with 5 people than it is with just one.
Yep.
And then ever since then, it's just been, team writing, if you will. But
it's just bouncing off each other and having at least one other character to write with.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's why it's easier to write just Giles this entire time. Technically, I also wrote Doozer, Bobby, for the last 10 years as well. So, not that they didn't write Giles either. I mean, you just knew when they did because he would lose those matches.
I see what you did there. That's good.
Hey.
So, but you're right. Bouncing off somebody else and writing with somebody else always makes it easier to get to that higher word limit to get more flesh more out of it. Maybe someone else goes a different direction you were thinking. It works out well.
And it's always better to have somebody else read your shit at least, just so you can be like, well, this makes no sense whatsoever. You're like, I thought it made perfect sense. Then you go back and read like, oh wow, it made no sense at all. You're right. It worked up here in my head, but 2 other people were like, dude, this is like Braille. What are you doing? You're like blind, are you? Like, look like you're blind. Writing's like this, but
You're writing in web dings again.
Yes.
I knew it.
The early days.
So you're in those feds. You're early on. You got some hardcore title success.
Hardcore title success, never brass ring success, if you will. And then I kind of, I guess, got out of it. Be wrestling for, I don't know, 10 years, I guess, maybe 9. Probably left in 2000, 2001, came back 09, 20, maybe 08. I don't know if it was 08. I don't think it was 08. I think it was 09. And that was with Dream, and that's when I met up with Deuce and Bobby and those hooligans. And
Dream was run by Halcom?
Halcom at the time, yes.
Nice.
Big Ben. My first Fed head as I came back into the world of e-wrestling. Trust me, people shit on Ben. I've shit on Ben too, but he was a good Fed head back then.
Oh, he was a great Fed head. It was always it was always a good time. He's always come up with crazy shit, whether it's graphically or storyline wise or throwing shit in.
He definitely had some innovation behind him, I guess we'll say. But, Ben's Ben, I guess we'll say. He snorts chili pepper and does other crazy shit. He's a referee, apparently. I didn't even know.
Yeah, he's a referee. So Ben's a good guy.
He is a good guy.
Shout out to Ben.
Shout out to Ben Halcom.
So there you go. So you're in Dream. You meet Doozer and Bobby Dean. And how in the hell did you end up as a team?
Doozer and I were there. We became tag champs, so we started running with the Bandits. Bobby was there later. And we were like, who can we add? Like at this point, there was like 3 or 4 guys in the band. I can't even remember who they were, but they were just like, this is god awful. Please, like, just quit the feds. We don't kick you guys out. You're not making this any fun. I don't care about what your cousin's doing back in fucking Alabama. Tell me what your character's doing and why he doesn't want to be like bandit. That'd be more interesting than this one. But I remember reading, like, we were like, oh my God, Bobby Dean's so funny. He just doesn't care. He just writes to write, good guy, funny guy. We're like, dude, you should join the Bandits. He's like, So you should join the Bandits. He's like, oh, I will. And then, the rest, as they say, is history.
He's not too hard to convince much of anything, is he?
He's not. He's not very hard to convince.
You just ask him more than one time, and he's probably going to do it. Yeah.
I forgot I said no to that already, didn't I? Yeah, you did. I appreciate it.
Once he's doing it, then he remembers. Yeah.
Exactly.
So no.
Let me grab another beer. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Okay. Good deal.
There.
So you got the bandits are finally together, and you're running in Dream. What kind of highs do you have in this run?
Dream was great.
Tag team champions,
tag champions, world champion. I had my own belt in Dream. It's called it was the you call it title, and I had just won. I was like, it's going to be called the cool title now, and nobody ever beat me for it, so it was just called the cool title. I was like, I was such a jerk off back then too. I'd be like, God, like in the forum. What's the thing at the bottom of your signature in the forum?
Oh yeah, SIG. Yep.
The signature. It would be like my picture of the title, how many times I defended it, and like what jerk off's name was underneath of it, like who I defended it against. So such like pin. Oh my God!
Just showing everybody how badass you were.
I would hate that person. Like if I saw that person, I would butcher it.
Yeah,
I would absolutely butcher it
because they remind you of a young George. Yes,
and that guy he was not a good guy.
Awesome.
A good guy to Doozer and Bobby, obviously, but not to anybody else. Such a rancid dickhead. Like I just didn't care about. I was like, "Fuck you, I don't care." What do I care? This is fake internet wrestling. More selfish than going to fuck the Fed. I'll just do things my way. Which I guess if you ask the right person or wrong person, they'll say I still do that today.
Let's call in Lee. All right, hold on.
Hey, hey, boss. Sorry about that title loss, huh?
We'll get there. Hold on.
We'll get because let's not fast forward.
All right, so so your Dream Run, you have World Heavyweight Championship, you've got Tag Team Championship, you got the Bandits, everything's going good.
Beat Doozer for the world title in Dream.
Well, who hasn't?
For the Dream World title. He doesn't like me talking about it though. He gets a little. When we call him up, we'll ask him. just a quick fact check from the podcast here. Cantor Giles says he beat Doozer to win his first and only Dream World title. Is that true? That's true.
I want to call him, but I know he's not going to answer.
He goes to bed at like 2 hours ago, so by the time this thing's ending, he'll probably be waking up, so we can probably catch him in the morning.
We'll try him on the back end.
Yeah. All right. So Dream was Dream. Dream then became Defiant. Well, not the Fed, obviously. Giles left Dream, went to Defiance. Obviously, you know Defiance very well.
Yes. Run by Justin Taylor at the time.
By Justin. Then it was. I remember I was hated. I wouldn't say hated. Hated is a strong word. Just not liked by 95% of the roster. It was me and kind of everybody else. That was just how I came.
Not the guy who listed all of his opponents in a SIG.
Not him. The granted, I came in when I went to the Defiance. I was, oh God, I was the guy. I wasn't the guy still listening. I wanted to, but I was like, man, these guys can actually write. I read their shit. I'm like, oh, it's not bad. It's pretty good. And I won't call him out in my signature like Greer and fucking
Walker,
Boston Big, often fucking Langston, and God, hated Cobra, whatever his fucking name was. That's the whole reason I went to the fights, was to fuck with Cobra. G.I. Giles him, if you will. Oh well, but Defiance was great. Became good buddies with Justin. A couple other guys became good buddies with. Had a great Bandits run there. Not a great Bandits run, good Bandits run.
Hello. So you're in Defiance. You're hanging out with the Egg Bandits again. Justin Taylor is running the show. It's a role play Fed at the time.
Role play Fed at the time. I was there until it stopped being role play Fed. Became an Angle Fed, if you will. And I remember like the transition for me from role play to Angle was just not good. I was like, what am I doing? How am I doing this? Like, no, it's not like that. You do it like this. I was like, but what am I writing? I'm writing a segment? Am I writing
Who am I
a
beating?
match?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like who wants to feud with me, if you will? Obviously your feud partner and shit like that.
It was just tough for you to get the hang of when you've been competitive role player the whole time.
I've just been writing role plays for forever. It's just write a role play, write a segment for the show, do shit like that. It wasn't plot who's going to win 3 matches ahead, get to that point, so where it's a surprise or a big deal, and work to that point. It was always every week is a week, if you will. And I guess with an angle fed, obviously it's every month is it's more month long than week long in planning, I guess. There's more foresight involved.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
I mean, it was fun. I still had a good time. I wasn't the best angle feder, I guess. Just because it was easier to flake on a role play than it would be an angle. It felt like a dick. Oh, cool, we put all this work into it. You had this giant Google Doc.
And then just disappear. All right, you write everything.
You're like, this isn't fun anymore. I never flaked because I was mad or anything. It just wasn't fun. And instead of being like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not really into it. Sorry, guys.
Now you kind of have to finish that cycle before you can flake out. And then you can say, hey, I'm done.
Adios, if you will.
So you move on from Defiance, and you go back to what, role-playing?
Yes, well, I was kind of in Defiance and HAL at the same time at this point. So, when I left Dream, I went to Defiance, and I was kind of in HAL. I think I might have been in HAL with Doozer before I was in Defiance. Because then Dream closed. It was kind of like Dream and HAL at this point where I had like a working relationship, if you will. Kind of like whatever it is, the AEW and
New Japan or whoever,
like those guys, if you will. And then flaked on HAL.
For the first time.
Fuck, I was
first time.
Flaked, the first time. Well, most of my flakes were blamed on. I can really blame on Doozer because he flakes first, and then it's kind of like,
well, yeah.
There goes my editor. What the hell am I supposed to do now? This isn't gonna work. We got too many typos. Way too many typos. This is not good.
So Doozer flakes out, and then you flake out.
And then I flake out, That was our MO and HAL, I guess, back in the day. We weren't very consistent, I guess you could.
You just came in for a good run, and then when they stopped pushing, you get out.
But we forgot who we were. We were just like, we're out of here, man. I'm going back to Defiance. I'm going to go to Defiance. And, went to Defiance. Defiance was great. There was, big drama. But, oh well. Nice drama. You get drama, right?
It's dumb. We all move on, and then we're all friends again.
Yes. But then I guess Defiance, I got out of Defiance 2014, 2013 maybe. I don't know. It just does seem like it was a bit ago. And then came back when HAL came back in 2019.
When you left Defiance, you took a break from e-wrestling again.
Yes,
and stepped away.
My second hiatus, if you will. And then when I came back, always felt like there was unfinished business with High Octane, if you will. Not like, oh, let me go in there and get the titles. Just like I should have had a better run with Giles there. And obviously I did now, but
yeah,
it was always,
2 years later, you've been a tag champion again. You've been recently the world heavyweight champion. And then recently lost it in War Games.
In War Games, yes. Of course I did. Trust me, in those role plays that I remember, I was legit in all of them. I was like, Giles has never been in the War Games main event. And you're like, well, he's been here 11 years. How's that possible? He just hasn't been in it. It's always tag team match or flaking or whatever it was. Just never was in it. I was like, this is crazy. And of course, the one time that he is in it, he's the fucking world champion.
And for people who don't know HAL's War Games, every title's on the line. Almost every year, every title switches hands.
Yeah. And this year there was 18 people in the fucking match, not 10. Not 5 guys I got to worry about. I got to worry about fucking 15 guys now. Like, what the fuck? This is great. This is great. Cool. So I know I'm not winning, but it was fun. It was the pressures of being world champion aren't that much fun. If there is pressures, but now I can go back to cutting loose and just putting dribble shits on fucking Google Docs and having a fucking gas with the idiots, I guess.
Well,
So,
through your run with your Halcombs and your Lees and everything else, and even back with your Rick Rudes, who's been your best Fed head along the way, or who's been the most fun to hang with?
oof, that's a good question. I want to say Lee, just because of how agitated I can get him at times. Like I can never really get bad agitated. Like and Justin, I could, but he would stop caring at some point. But Lee is so invested in that. That's what I love about it, because he does care about Hal so much, and it's so obvious to see it.
Yeah.
Like, well, why wouldn't I fucking work for this guy? Look at him. He loves the place. Sure, he may love jobbing me more than he loves fucking sliced bread, but. That's another story for another show, I guess. Or maybe I already told that story on another show.
Yeah, you can check it out at patreon.com/EFED podcast. Thanks for the setup. All right.
No problem.
So, no, I mean, that's awesome. We've covered your career, actually, rather quickly. And
well, it wasn't very interesting. Like, well, not a very interesting career. People say, John is such a great character. I'm like, yeah, I guess he is. He's just a dickhead in essence, but he's got a little pizzazz to him, a little flash. He was never very successful as a, not successful handler per se. But I did win the world title in every Fed that I was in, and the tag titles in every Fed that I was in. So I guess that counts for some fucking plaque I can hang up on my wall. That I obviously would cover if anybody ever came over to my house to, like, what's this for? Like, what are you talking about, man? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Not the titles. Titles, damn it.
Helen!
Who's this wrestling action? Looks custom made.
I don't
know who he is.
I got a Mikey Money T-shirt, and it says "accepted nearly nowhere." And I was at the airport the other day, and someone asked me, "Oh, what's that?" And I said, "Oh, it's my fantasy football team."
Oh, God. Ironically enough, my fantasy football team name, it was back in the day the Wet Bandits, which had some lead into the Egg Bandits becoming the stable name for, I guess, Doozer and I.
We kind of covered that in the other interview, but we'll touch base here. So the Wet Bandits comes from Home Alone. That's the reference.
Yeah.
And
which just goes to show you how high I was. I was like, oh, this will be a great fantasy team. The Wet Bandits. So
you love to see it. The Egg Bandits. The Wet Bandits were great, and obviously you guys followed in their footsteps with great comedy. That's what you guys are known for. You, Doozer, and Bobby Dean, having a good time, telling good stories, and making people laugh.
That's the prerogative, I guess you could say. The reason why, not because of the accolades or the clout that I get on Twitter and in the Discords. My Discord clout, if you will, just to try to make people laugh, I guess, which is the best part. When you get that shitty text message on the side, dude, that thing was fucking hilarious. You're like, I know. You don't have to tell me.
But it's nice that you told me, yeah.
But it's tell your friends if they want to send a message over my way, that's fine as well.
I am accepting messages. Yes.
I'm sitting here waiting for them, just so you know.
I've changed my settings to accept all. Okay.
Yeah. DMs are open. So.
Well, speaking of the DMs, over on the EFED Podcast Discord, we got a slew of questions for you. Are you ready?
Let us tackle this slew of questions.
Up first is, I'm Meg, damn it. What's one thing you'll look back on regarding your e-wrestling journey?
And think negatively or positively?
We'll say positively.
Friends I've made. Actually being able to write good stuff from time to time and getting people engaged with it. And, oh, shit, that was a pretty cool segment. Oh, shit, that was a pretty badass role play, Shit like that's always fun. Meeting the friends, breaking balls. Destroying people. is definitely a perk to this game that I probably enjoy way too much.
There's
more
a certain
so than
high
other
to
people.
It.
Yeah. Just not the person, the character. I'm not trying to make you jump off a bridge, not yet anyway, unless you beat me. But I guess and then the negative. I don't know. The flaking is always going to be out there, if you will. Outside of that, I guess I probably burned a few bridges in this. Didn't make friends, if you will, created an enemy or two, and that's kind of shitty, I guess, because there's no reason for it. What are we doing?
Fantasy wrestling, yeah.
Like, come on, do we have to argue over shit like this, or do you have to be a dickhead? It's kind of fun being a dickhead, but I get it, I understand. I don't want to be a dickhead, but I am. But I would say that more to flaking and just rubbing people the wrong way, I guess, because I was never my intention to make enemies with anybody, or, so on and so forth. Not that I have this giant list of enemies and I got to worry about walking out of my house.
You better watch it, motherfucker. Anyway.
Max, what are you doing over there?
He's got a cake for you. What's behind your back? All right. Shout out to Meg, avid listener and also from Philly.
I kind of picked up on that from before. She's a suburbs girl, I believe.
Yeah. Highlander 4H is up next. It's Ron Hall McDonald. It's Ron Hall.
Ron Hall.
What's your greatest accomplishment in the hobby?
I'd probably say how world champion or how tag team champions for as many times as whatever Giles has been tag team champion there, but probably definitely how world title. I mean, it never seemed possible, if you will, just because I never took anything serious there. Not that you have to win it, but you kind of do, I guess.
Yeah, you got to write some bomb ass role plays, that's for sure.
Yeah, you can't just goof off, if you will, which is my MO. It was never. That's why it was never. I think I could win it, So like, I'm such a bad writer, I'll never get there. But it was, can I write thoughtful, engaging shit long enough to maybe convince Lee? Oh, maybe I could win the title on him for a little bit, and we'll see what happens. But no, I think I had a good run. It was fun. Definitely was fun.
Who was your favorite opponent?
All time?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was always fun. I think I've role played like once or twice against Doozer. That'll be fun when that happens again, and whenever that happens again, which should be soon enough, I guess. So it was fun. It's always fun writing against the the heavyweights, if you will, just because that they're going to really chop you up.
Yeah.
Which is, if I read an RP that just destroys you, I'm like, oh my god, that was so great. That was so great.
Yes.
And you come back, and you're like,
yeah. I love sending that message to my opponent where I just said, oh my god, that was such a good fucking roast. I love doing it because
so good. Yeah.
My character's a heel. He should be made fun of, and I love when someone just fucking nails it.
Just drops the hammer on. Like, that's why
it's great.
I would say with Dan. Dan drops the hammer on Giles. And it's great. It's like, this is fantastic. I don't want. Maybe he's not such a bad guy after all. No, he is. He's a a vile, despicable human being. Don't think of him any differently. If you do, it's like he's working. It's working. He's convincing you. Like, don't take it easy on me in the ring. Don't worry about me. I'm not that tough. And you get super kicked, and then it's over with. What can you do?
When it comes to super kicks, it's always over with.
Yes, exactly. Nobody has that finisher in this sport.
Favorite all-time match? Do you have one? When you won the world title?
That was a great match. The match before it with Mike was probably the best of all the matches this run, anyway. When him and Giles tied, Max ran just a killer match. I was like, like, what the fuck is going on? This is crazy. It was great because like I didn't lose, but I didn't win. So I was like, I didn't win. I don't have to worry about writing 2 RPs every fucking time now because every match I'm going to be in is going to be a world title match after that point. I remember thinking I was like relieved that I lost, but didn't win. I was in that gray area, if you will. And then I was like, oh, you jerk off, dickhead. Now you got to write 3 RPs at the pay-per-view to beat Mike again. I was like, oh, great, cool. This should be real easy.
It went from, I don't have to do that to, I'm right back in the main event. Rematch.
It's going to be me and Bobby writing 1 RP each about, pissing into the wind.
No.
You can do it longer. And then it was, 3 world title RPs. Go. Like, great, cool. I mean, that was a cool spot. It was cool. It was fun. It was very engaging, like reading. I was like, holy shit, this is cool. This is, it wasn't hard to write the 3 RPs against Mike, obviously. He gives a lot, I guess you could say. But there was a match. I felt like the second or third match I ever wrote. It was in Defiance. It was Giles versus Ed White. we were tag team partners, but it was just this huge blow off match. And it was like set up so perfectly. I remember sitting there writing it, and I remember just like looking up, and it was like 26 pages. I was like, what the fuck? Where did this match even come from? So like I texted Ed White's handler, I forget, Zortalk, I don't know what his name was though. And he's like, all right, I'll jump in there and see if I can help out. He's like, how is this 26 pages already? I was like, I don't know. I feel like I just opened this doc up and wrote like White Giles cage match, and then it was and then I guess Justin is the Fed head. He goes in there, he's like, how is this 3 times the length of the main event? This is incredible. This is awesome. I'm like, okay, this is great. What are we going to do about the main event now? Like, we're fucked because, like, even the guy who was writing the main event, like, jumped in there and was like,
well, fuck you.
Fuck you. Thanks. I got to write a 40-page main event now? Are you fucking crazy? No way that's happening. And then, that was probably that Ed White Giles cage match, or the Mike Best Giles, I guess, from this era, the second match. But, the Hell World title match was great too. I remember Lee texting, because he was writing it, as he was posting it, if you will, and texting me and Mike like, hey, another part's up. So it was kind of like, hurry up, motherfucker, what's going on here? Oh, I lost. It's definitely, you read it, you're like, oh, Giles is getting in way too much offense here. This is a fucking loss. Like, oh, you just got knee in the head. Maybe you'll win. Maybe you'll win. Maybe you'll lose. Lose.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Oh, my God, he won. Fuck.
It's like, yes. Oh, no. Awesome.
But it was great. It was fun. I'd probably say those 2 matches are the most memorable. The losing to Zion, and it was either Hollywood or Hanson, one of them, with Doozer at the very beginning of this run in Hell. I remember that match, because that was
it's a slap in the face.
That was the we're out of here. We're fucking leaving, and we ain't never coming back. I was like, well, maybe in 2 months. let's go back. Let's see what happens in 2 months. Once Doozer calms down and we, our characters can get out of the hospital, if you will, and recover, then we'll see. We'll go from there. But
shout out to Zion, former guest.
Shout out to Zion. Love Zion. Zion, great guy for the hobby, I guess you could say.
Absolutely.
Doesn't have a mean bone in his body either, which obviously
he's a fun announcer too.
Yeah, he works. He does this in real life, correct?
Yeah,
not
announcing,
writing aspect, but yeah.
So, someone you wanted to work with but never got to.
Never got to. Perfection.
There you go. Because you guys were like mirror images.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be too good. It'd be too good, too obvious. You just look at this. Who's the bigger jerk off? Who's looking into a mirror?
I just see walking around in circles, looking at each other.
Like hey. It's like that's Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, exactly.
How'd you get here? I've been here the whole time. Where'd you get here, man?
Crazy.
And I think it'd be fun. It'd be a fun little dicky-do, if you will.
It would be.
Yeah.
Advice you'd give to someone new in the hobby?
Don't take it seriously at all. Take it very light. Keep
your emotions out of it.
Yes. Remember, nobody's paying you any money. Nobody's going to give you a check at the end of the year, a little Christmas bonus if you win 10 matches. You're going to get an attaboy. That was a good segment. Keep up the good work.
You can win every match and be a dickhead and have no friends, and you can lose every match and have so many friends.
And have so many friends. You get so much more out of this than just writing a role play and reading a result at the end of the week, or the end of every 2 weeks or something like that. There's on the surface, you're like, well, who would do any of this? And then you get into it, and you're like, well, this is pretty cool. Like, there's interaction, there's 4 guys doing this, and then you're reading other people's shit that have no business. They're not even related to your character in any way, but you're like, I got to see what's going on with the show.
Yeah.
Because I may be working with this guy a month or 2 months from now, and I can reference this shit just to make it more interesting for him. And
then you find some shit on the show that you fucking love, and you're just like, oh my God, that's so fucking funny. Like when I read Jake. When I read Jake for the first time.
He's great. Love Jake.
Yeah.
Absolutely love Jake. Fantastic writer. Great writer. Horrible human being, but great.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Oh, God.
Shit. Thanks, Ron Hall, for the questions. Appreciate it, buddy.
Way to go, Ronnie.
All right. We got up next Bobo. Are you ready for Bobo's question? Question 1. Who is your favorite bandit other than Cardboard Dan, Doozer, Zeb, and the Egg Queen?
Other than them, Rick, obviously, would be Bobby.
Ridiculous for the win.
Ridiculous for the win.
Sorry,
I'm surprised
Bobby.
you forgot Rick. Of course, well, everybody forgets Rick, so I guess.
Rick forgot Rick.
Yeah, or the 2 or 3 guys that were in the bandits before him in Dream, whoever they were, whatever their fucking names were.
All right, Bobby's last on that list, regardless.
Dead last. In the rankings. And the lists.
Did not finish. DNF.
Did DNF. Pulled a hammy out there, Bob. Sorry. It's not going to fight on me. Not going to be able to finish.
Is Lee your favorite Fed head in the history of Fed heads? Kind of covered that.
Yes, I would say Lee definitely is. Just because when Hal is at its finest, when the live shows and everybody's watching, watching the show get posted and there's cool graphics going with it, and it's this match was badass, that segment was horrible, that segment was good, but everybody's in there. There's 10, 15, sometimes 20 people in there, just like, this is cool. This is Saturday night. This is 9, 10 o'clock at night where I live. This is my Saturday night sometimes, sitting around watching these house shows go up. But when they're hitting, it's a cool experience. And I would say that's just join Hal for this experience, this right here alone, just to be a part of it for 2, 3 weeks, a month, whatever. You get that fix of it, and you would never leave the Fed. That's probably the best part. That's why he's my favorite Fed head. That was the question, I believe.
Yes. Will you ever return to Defiance? Question 3.
I don't know.
Are you trying to write matches and angles?
Yeah. I mean, I could. I've written more matches now and how, because we need people to write matches. I've been writing matches for a year now, whereas back then it was the one cage match that I wrote with against Ed White. Now I've written probably 15 matches of just being in Hal, and I see the more long-term booking as opposed to short-term booking, like who's winning this week.
And you can tell a lot of stories within a match to continue something that happened in a role play or happened on the segment.
Now, that's what I started doing in Hal in this run, just trying to have that through line with match, seg, role play. So it's kind of just like, you're not, getting this story or a part of this story over here. It's just like this one straight shot that you're getting, and you read it from the beginning of the pay-per-view arc to the end of the pay-per-view arc, or however longer it's going to go, or however short it lasts. That's the idea, anyway. The thought, the goal. Whether or not that works, sometimes probably not. Sometimes it does, and when it does, you can, it's obvious. And when it doesn't work, you're like, eh.
So will you return to Defiance?
I would. I definitely would. Why wouldn't I? I have no grudge against Defiance. It's not like I was kicked out. Like, you can't come back. 10-year ban. Well, 2023 would be fun though.
It's under new ownership anyway, so you'd be safe.
I'd be safe. But remember when we went over this before, you wouldn't want me there, but I already got the votes because I was already voted in before, so I would be fathered in on votes, if you will.
I don't know. We'll talk about that later.
If anything, I want to be in the other Fed, the 750 Fed.
Yeah, there you go. Classic Wrestling. Classic-wrestling.com. Check it out.
But I'm ching.
Should the Bandits have ever really lost to Zion in Hollywood?
It's like this was, he knew we were going to talk about this as my third favorite match of all time. Yes, because it would have been my third favorite match of all time then if they didn't lose. And the 2 role plays I wrote after that, the exit interview role plays, where they're still buried underneath the rubble of the set after being jobbed out by 12 people, were some of the funniest fucking role plays I've ever written in my entire life. They were like, just probably 750,000 words of just like zing, 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 zing. And then it was like, so funny. Such a funny time.
Do you wish the Bandits could have done more with the feud with the Hollywood Bros? I certainly
Of course.
do.
Of
Yes.
course. There's still meat on that bone now, so
we'll figure out a way.
Let's not say there's not. There's definitely a Defiance story to be told there, just because of with Giles going back, and there's history now between the Brews and Giles person. Before there wasn't. Well, you guys were all in. God, what's the name? What was the name of the Fed?
UTA. Wrestle UTA. Yes.
Giles wasn't a part of any of that nonsense or whatever, so there's no story with him and you guys there, so to speak.
Well, there is. Here's the beautiful thing is because I was tag team partners with Doozer and Bobby Dean in Wrestle UTA. I was the
You were
the Giles replacement, and we were WTFC instead of the Egg Bandits.
Oh, is that so? WTFC.
Yep. We never said what it stood for. We don't know.
That's what a great gimmick though. Just 7 or 8 random letters. What does it mean? You don't know?
Yeah, we changed it all every time. Every time someone asked us, we changed it.
Oh, my fucking mic's dying. Damn it! Did it die?
No, you're good.
All right, hold on. It will. Time to go old school.
Hey, I'm old school.
This ghetto ass motherfucker just buy a fucking headset. He's got a wired headset on. They make them.
Clink, 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 clink.
Maybe it's the. Damn it. Oh, hold on 1 second. Maybe it's the laptop that's gonna die.
Something's dying.
Something is dying. Did you hear that beeping too?
No.
The Trojan horse that I put in your computer.
He'll be beeping later.
Beep, beep, beep. Your credit card is mine. Amazon. What do you normally get on Amazon? So it doesn't look like that's suspicious. Are you an extra large or a large on your shirt? What size shoe do you wear?
What's your social? All right.
Yeah, exactly.
Moving on.
Let's just the last 4 numbers.
Are you plugged in and good to go?
I believe so. We should be good to go here.
Okay.
You can still hear me, right?
I can hear you and all the clinking and clacking of all your microphones.
It's clinking. I got a lot of stuff going on. I got this cord now. I'm all corded up.
So there's still meat on the bone with the Brubs, and we'll figure out a way to do it somewhere, someplace, whether it be Howl or whatever.
Or Defiance, yeah. I think Defiance, we should probably do it in Defiance. That'd be fun.
Who has been Well, go ahead.
God, I'm sorry.
No, once
You're still world champion there, right?
Forever. I mean, I'm not going to lose it.
What's that title called?
It's the Fist of Defiance.
Oh, right.
460 some days. Okay. Moving on.
A long time.
Long time. All time. Who is your favorite person to egg throughout the years?
Oh, God. These questions are difficult.
Well, it's from someone who knows you, so it's more fun.
Favorite egg would probably be... God, it was always fun egging Bobby Dean. Just not to say because Bobo's there, but the egg Bobby Dean was always fun. the favorite egg was, Friday night texting Doozer or Bobby like, dude, well, who the fuck are we supposed to egg on tomorrow's show? Like, that's our segment is we egg people. Who are we egging? And it's, what about him? He'll get mad about it. What about him? He will never do it. What about him? He'll never do it. Well, he did beat us last week, so part of the reason we didn't mind losing was because you couldn't say no then to the Bandits egging you. We won last week. We're not going to beat you up. We're not going to do that, mean man jump segment.
Yeah.
We're just going to egg you. It doesn't make any sense, but it makes perfect sense. We're not doing the beat down segment. We're just going to egg them. It'll be fine. It'll be funny. You'll laugh. Or you won't laugh. We'll laugh, definitely. But you, hopefully.
So anybody you beat. Or who beat you?
I guess whoever beat us, and then we immediately egged them. There's no real one memorable egging because I guess they're all memorable, and Dan Ryan took one on the face, Mike took one on the face. I'm trying to think of who else took egg on. I think Colin might have taken an egg on the face. Lindsay Troy, I don't think has ever been egged.
Well, she's the egg queen.
Sure. Well, they would just slide off her, obviously. She's got the repellent.
It would never break. Yes.
Yeah, her Jerry curl supplies her with egg repellent throughout her. It's rumored. We'll have to put it to the. We'll have to test it out. I guess
we'll have to see at the next house show.
I think Lee Best has been egged. I think Justin or Eric Dane's been egged numerous times. He's always a good egging, Eric Dane. I think Scotty's been egged a bunch of times. I'd have to imagine. I don't know who would be my most favorite egging.
If you've been egged, you can call us at 1-800-VICTIM. E-victim.
There's no money involved. Just
no.
Just pain.
Are you upset that I crush harder for Mike Best than I do for you? Also from Bobby Dean. It
hurts on a deep level, I guess. Because not that me and Mike hate each other by any means, but Bobby does crush on Mike harder than he crushes on me, and I yell at him for it all the time. Maybe one day I'll be able to turn him. We've only been in the same stable for 11 years now, and every time it's like, oh, Mike, me and Mike are going to do this. 2 weeks later, I was like, I thought you and Mike were doing something. He hasn't talked to me, man. I'm like, oh, guess who comes crawling back on his knees, the Papa Jack. And I'm always there opening the door. Come on in.
Try the sunglasses on.
Your bowl's still on the floor. There's still a little food in there, some kibbles in there. Nestle up.
Poor Bobo. Do you regret the Egg Bandits interview?
No, not at all. I thought it was hysterical.
It was so much fun.
It was legit hysterics.
And you can check it out over at patreon.com/podcast. The questions were great. The calling 40 people was great. Having a special guest on was great.
Yes, it was definitely a fun interview.
That was our precursor to this. So
to this, yes. I wonder if we would have done this one first. I think we did it right. I think getting the Bandits one out of the way. There should be like an aftermath interview with everybody who was involved in that interview, like 6 months later.
And then everyone else who heard it. How have you been affected by the Egg Bandits?
Exactly. There's a big control group. What's going on out there?
How's everybody feeling? Yeah. Actually, someone asked me the other day. They saw you were being interviewed, and they said, "Hey, is the Egg Bandits one available on Patreon?" And I said, "Absolutely, it is." And they were already subscribed, and they just had to find it. So I pointed it out to them. So they listened. Okay. They listened to that as a precursor to this. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, this is nothing like
this. Is mild compared to.
This is very mild.
And I'm feeling very well, my friend. Cheers.
Cheers to that. But I only have 2 more beers left, which is not good.
That's sad.
My kids are still calling my name. What's up, Pumpkin?
All right, last question from Bobby. Please explain your new character, Cancer AIDS, to us.
Cancer AIDS is because I thought it was going to be the 80s Fed, if you will.
It is. You thought it was in the 80s, and it's not.
I thought it was in the 80s.
Yeah.
He's going to be the hip guy in the 80s Fed. And plus, I had a great exit strategy.
It's one of the reasons we cannot air the original episode because it came up over and over and over again. Bobby Dean, thank you for your questions. He says, "Mikey, just let me interview George for you. Not a chance, buddy. Not a chance."
God,
you'd have been off the rails from the word go.
Yeah, we wouldn't. This would just be gibberish.
What do you think of wrestling and hookers? Okay, moving on.
How many times have you done cocaine? Well,
all right, hold on. We're not going to Patreon just yet. Let's go. From Join Your Lack. Wow, holy shit.
This is what happened last time. You started drinking a little too much, if you don't remember.
Listen, I don't drink too much.
Neither do I.
All right.
Not me.
This question is from Rossi Orton. Wants to know, Ross, what makes Cancer Giles so cool?
It's got to be the shades.
The slick back hair.
The shades in the hair, absolutely, Definitely not his wrestling record or his abilities in the ring, for that matter. Although, being a cheap shot artist, I guess, could be considered, pretty cool, if you will.
Anybody who wears sunglasses at night is pretty cool.
Yeah, kind of goes with the territory. Self-explanatory. Shades, hair, that's it.
From Love and Peace, that's good. It's Jake.
Oh.
Can you come help me install a trampoline in my backyard?
I could. I could do it now. I know how to do it. Me and my father-in-law did it. I was outside. You got to pull the springs into the little thingies, whatever. And it's easy, and then it just gets progressively harder and harder and harder. And when you get to that last 10 to 15 of them, you're just like, ah. I feel like I'm in a predator or something, and I'm just like with a machine gun trying to pull this fucking spring. And I remember just waking up the next day like, oh my god, I couldn't. My right arm was just like, it's not working. This is a noodle arm, if you will. But I can't help him with a trampoline. Yes, I would sit there drinking beer, instructing him.
Watch out for those last 15.
Those last 15. I'll be inside in the air conditioner.
Let me know if you come across any issues.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. His real question: F, marry, kill all of the Egg Bandits.
All of them. So I guess.
Well, it says Egg Bandits, so I assume it's all of them.
I want to kill any of them. Or I'd kill all of them.
Well, let's do Bobby Dean, Doozer, and Jake. And Jake.
Jake.
Yep.
Marry Bobby. Kill Doozer.
You got to. I mean, you got to.
I mean, he's the youngest one of the group.
He's the obvious choice, yes. He's a prize, to be honest. Jake, don't listen to this.
Yes, please. He said don't call him tonight because he has to wake up at 5:30 in the morning for work or some shit like that. I said, oh, cool, turn your phone off then because I can't guarantee anything.
All right, this next one's from Max. Was losing War Games to Salter Kale the biggest honor in your life?
I don't get salty over losing matches ever, but it did suck losing the world title. So no, there was no honor in it whatsoever. Just disgrace, just pitiful disgrace. Because Max is such a horrible handler, such a horrible human being.
He's a good friend to Doozer, but that's about it.
That's what pisses me off the most about it, because he delivers food to Doozer.
Salter Kale.
Disgrace of a human being. Horrible handler. Fantastic cook, apparently, though. Of course, I'll never know that because he just delivers food to my partner in crime, if you will, and not me.
Not you.
He wrote a note on top of that food.
I heard. Yeah, I saw this.
This is from the world champion. Taking plenty of shots.
Yes,
plenty of shots.
This is not a friend. This is not a friendly letter. Please do not respond.
It's not a friendly letter. So I hope Doozer got heartburn or something from eating that food. But apparently it was delicious, and of course it was. Because why wouldn't it be?
Roland's up next. Hi, longtime listener Connor Fuse here. Gotta ask you, what the fuck, man? What's going on?
Nothing much, Connor. Nothing much at all. Just, beating you consistently in high octane wrestling. Connor's my boy, though. Connor's he's a hell of a handler.
Yes,
fantastic
he really is, yeah.
God, what's his name? Roland, right? Is that his name?
Yep.
Roland, yes. Roland, fantastic guy. Really just a genuine article, if you will, in this game.
He's on Defiance's staff, and he's awesome.
I would believe it. I definitely would believe it. I would back him up any day. Good guy.
His second question is, who do you like to rip on the most?
Probably Dan Ryan, easily. Ryan. Or maybe, but
Lindsay.
Dan Ryan's always, Lindsay's more subtle, more, this would be a great time to drop a Lindsay Detroit joke, but I won't. And then the next line is obviously the Lindsay Detroit joke. Whereas Dan Ryan will get like a 1,000-word essay on why the size of his head is going to be what really stops the gravity on planet Earth, if you will, or just something stupid and ridiculous that makes no sense that nobody in their right mind should say to this monster character. Should just tear your heart out of your chest. But somehow Giles gets lucky enough to just get concussed, if you will, not brain dead,
just concussed,
like User. Would I say that? Who?
Brock's
right, Dan Kill.
Brock's up next. Does Roland going in character for his questions bother you? It feels like he's LARPing to me.
No, because I switch in and out of character, in these settings, if you will, not on purpose, but I'll always say I wouldn't want to do that, as opposed to
Cancer wouldn't do that.
Giles wouldn't do that. I always see it, but oh well. Especially if I got a couple of beers in me and I'm sitting here talking about wrestling. I guess you could say I'm a method writer.
Oh, okay. Roland's up next with a whole list of questions. He's back.
Okay.
What kind of tights will Cancer Giles wear now?
Cancer Giles' tights before he lost the world title had a picture of the world title on them.
Rick Rude, yes.
And they had a picture of Connor Fuse's face, magically enough, because it was whoever. Imagine me coming up with this fucking silly idea after the Dream thing 10 years ago. Whoever Giles defended the title against was going to get a picture of their face on his tights underneath the world title. And of course, I only defended it against Connor Fuse. But technically, he did beat. I'm doing the I shit again. Technically, Giles did beat Dan Ryan too, though. In the cage, he eliminated him, so that could be considered a title defense at the time because he was the world champion at that time.
Okay, I'll allow it.
Just to throw Dan's face on there, just to even it out. Two faces are better than one, as they say.
That's right. We got to throw Brunk under the bus as much as possible.
As much as humanly possible. Great human being as well, but just fun guy to rip on. Not Brunk, but the character.
Yeah. Dan Brunk.
But I don't know. I could go back to the old tights. The bandit tights were fantastic. The picture of Giles on them saying over easy, obviously. But I don't know. I got to think of it. I'm sure Lee's going to love doing a third redesign of Kendrick Giles tights, by the way. That's up there on his list.
You're going to do a new one as a face, and then you're going to turn heel, and it's going to go dark.
And the next week.
Yes. Burnt eggs. Yes.
About those tights. We got to change the colors and the pattern and everything else. I was thinking singlet. No, not really.
What's your favorite video game from Connor Fuse?
Favorite video game all time?
Mm-hmm.
All time's tough because I would have to say Madden all time just because I played it so I don't play that much anymore, but from 94
to wasting days on Madden. I do it today.
High stakes cash games, which at the time I thought, let's play for $50. And it was just like people, like me and my buddy be playing. There was like 10 people behind us, like, this is crazy.
Who's gonna lose?
It was us two who were good, and they were just like who we would beat up on consistently. And it was like half of them wanted Ryan to win, half of them wanted me to win, but definitely Madden. Has to be Madden, which kind of feels like a cop out, but how could it not be Madden?
Madden's great. I play Madden every day of my life.
If you played video games, you played Madden. Period. Maybe I wouldn't say like Super Mario or anything like that. Maybe like if I had to play like an action game, I don't know. I don't even know. Madden.
There's a lot of action in Madden.
I don't know if I never really got into Fortnite or
Halo or nothing like that.
Like the
Grand Theft Auto.
But sounds like fun. Grand Theft Auto was fun. That was fun. I can put that up there.
Who would you like to wrestle now?
As in, I don't know. There's a couple new guys in Hal who would be fun to role play against, just to see how they take to getting chopped up, if you will.
Give them a few licks.
People aren't used to being like he's writing this on purpose, isn't he? Like, does he mean this stuff? Like, no, he doesn't mean this stuff. Then why is he writing in italics? I don't know. I don't know. You have to ask him that. I would love to go against Max again for the title. Dan. There's another match with Dan that we have to have now. Bruce would be fun. You know, Charles is good, that character who could kind of work with, most people just because he's a dickhead. Obviously, you can work with another dickhead. You can work against a good guy, a fucking demon heel for that matter. He goes well with everybody. He's like a nice hat.
A side of eggs.
Or a great pair of sunglasses, if you will.
Question from Connor Fuse. Why did the Egg Bandits suck?
Well, obviously, that's... come on. Let me just... starts with a D. There's a D in there. Let's just go with, Jake always was the best of us. That's why we suck. So if he's the best of us, you're in fucking trouble.
You're in trouble. That's right. Are you ever going to be cool with Zeb Martin?
These are just leading right into each other. This is nice. Will I? Never. Impossible. To use that type of jargon, if you will, a.k.a. jargon, as Zeb would like to call it. No, never. He's from the South. Giles is from Philadelphia. He's from Georgia. How could you ever be cooler than a Georgia peach? You can't. It's impossible.
Well, salt or sugar?
Salt. Always salt.
You salty bitch.
So much salt now.
What other character does your handler have inside his head?
That's the italics guy I think he's talking about. Let's just call him OOC. That's his initials anyway. I won't tell you what they stand for.
Maybe one day you can show me Connor Fuse a good time.
Never. Impossible.
Cancer's too cool for you.
Way too cool for Connor Fuse. Doesn't he live in where's he? He's not from here, is he?
No.
Is he across seas?
No, he's up north.
Is he?
So Roland is
he's Canadian.
He's Canadian, but he's living elsewhere.
Okay.
I still contest to this day, and I probably shouldn't say this on the air. My NSA agent's gonna be pissed, but I contest that Roland is with the FBI or the CIA.
Interesting.
I think he works for some government. He's always like, "Oh, I'm in Spain. Oh, I'm in Netherlands. I'm in."
He's a jet setter, if you will.
Yeah.
Could be a hitman.
Could be. Looks like
one. If you ask him what his favorite game is, if you said hitman,
game over.
That's how you get it. Game over. Exactly.
You're next.
I'm going to see that guy coming through on the back of your tree.
Ski mask is behind you. Look.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. Up next is Brock.
This is for Rick, bitch.
Got him.
Rick's Canadian. That's the. That's
the common. I see. Sorry to do it. All right.
Well, what's the next question?
Brock's up next.
Brock is up next. Brock has a couple questions, if I'm not mistaken.
You are not mistaken. Why is Clay Bird the best character and how?
He's got a great hat. He's the only cowboy that we actually have. Outside of that, cool duster, I guess you could say.
So his outfit is why.
His outfit, definitely. Not a bad head of hair. I think he's from Texas, though, so that kind of really is,
it ruins it. I just got back from Texas. It was awful.
I bet it was. I bet it was ungodly hot.
It was 104 degrees at 9 o'clock at night.
My God.
It was the worst.
Sounds like an experiment.
For us up here in the northern section of the United States, it was the worst.
I bet it was.
Yes.
I bet it was.
So why does Connor Fuse suck so much?
Well, he aligned with those those union scabs, if you will. I didn't do him any favors. But outside of that, Connor, I mean, he does suck. I don't want to say he doesn't suck because he does suck, but he does put in some fantastic work. I don't want to trounce him. I don't want to waste anything here that I could say for a role play against him anyway.
Shout out to Roland.
Because he will listen to this. I know. I got to be nice to him on here, so he takes it easy on me. Love you too, Clay.
Nicest guy in e-wrestling.
All my buddies.
Not Brock, but Roland.
Yes.
Brock's a dick, but he knows
cool, Lesnar. Don't F5 him.
How long until Lee Best puts cancer in a room next to Dan Ryan's pride?
He's probably down there already. I messaged Brock because I read these questions. I said, thank you for reading my role plays, because I wrote that on the very bottom floor of the USS Octane is where they kept Dan Ryan's pride and his dignity and all this stuff, and we keep it locked away in there because nobody needs to, use it, or he won't need it, or nobody needs to see it. That made me mark out a little bit. But since Giles lost, he's probably down there with it, talking to Dan Ryan's pride right now.
Shout out to Brock for reading role plays. How about that?
Shout out to Brock for reading role plays is right. That's the least you could do in this game. Read the role plays.
What would
Don't wait.
Go ahead.
Okay.
No, don't wait. Don't wait to read your role plays. I'm enjoying being the fed head over at classic-wrestling.com and reading every role play that comes in.
Would hope so.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Well, good. There are a bunch of good writers over there, so it shouldn't be too hard to do.
So what would a conversation with said pride sound like?
Oh, God. I don't know. I wrote in that role play that Dan Ryan would just smear shit across his chest and then try to smile. So I would imagine something along those lines.
It would look like shit, and it might smell like it too.
Yes. What do two gorillas trying to talk to each other look like? That's what it would look like.
What does showing Connor Fuse a good time look like?
It's a 48-ounce Joel Cola, bag of Cool Ranch Doritos, unlimited internet, fully charged video game controller, all night, no parents.
You're about right.
That sounds like a good time to me anyway, but it'd be great. There'd be no kids in that instance, but I guess that's what it would look like. That or jumping off of a cliff, making sure he went first, obviously.
Was that a euphemism for intercourse? And if it was, would you have intercourse with Connor Fuse? You said make sure he went first, and I couldn't pass it up.
He went first. Yes.
Yes. Definitely a euphemism.
Isn't everything a euphemism for sex?
It is.
Last time I checked.
Miracle Enterprises. It's Zion up next. Or no, not Zion. Sorry, Miracle.
That's fine.
Steve Harrison.
Steve Zion.
Steve Zion. All right. He's going to kill me for that one.
Darren Harrison. Legend in this.
Can Bobby Dean and Doozer learn to cook so we can get better meals on the USS Octane?
I think Bobby Dean and Doozer have served their penance, if you will, just because Giles. We were talking about it in the Bandit chat because Zeb was like, "Oh, we're gonna do a segment with Doozer, but is he still locked in a fucking room in the USS Octane by Giles?" I was like, well, Giles isn't world champion, so he doesn't have that spinning around the key on his finger type of fucking mojo, if you will. So I would assume they're free, they're gone. If anything, Giles is locked in the room next to Dan Ryan's pride, which was where Doozer and Bobby were. They were in that room, so probably in that room. But they're free. They're free little birdies to go about their business. Hopefully, Bobby will probably just go away, flake into the middle of the night. And Doozer will write for maybe we'll get a good pay-per-view arc out of him before he
disappears.
Before he changes his cell phone number.
Doesn't answer his Skype calls.
I got a new work phone and all my contacts got erased. It's crazy. I was like, but I know your email address. I shared like a RP with you. And I was just like, where are you? It wasn't a role play. It was just Where are you? I know you get that email. I get them on my Gmail.
Yeah, man, my phone's been messed up. It's been crazy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I got hacked. I went on the podcast. I got hacked.
It's like 40 hacks in a row. It's nuts.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Every week it was another hack.
Finally, from Steve Harrison, why is Clay Bird such a buzzkill?
God, a lot of Clay Bird love hate here. He has one good run in him, and everybody thinks he's the sheriff, I guess you could say. So I'll have to find out the hard way. But I don't.
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah. Euphemism for what? He is a buzzkill because he is from Texas, and that is obviously the only correct answer.
Despite his great duster.
He may not even be from Texas. I'm just assuming he is because he has a cowboy hat on, a duster, and assless chaps.
He could be from Oklahoma, and that's just as bad. Let's be honest. Sorry, Steve.
You're right.
All right.
Oh God, I'm from New Jersey, which is I guess third worst.
It's fine. It's fine as long as you don't have to drive in it.
Yeah. Could be from Cincinnati.
I'm not from Cincinnati. Fuck you. All right, John Thompson, TW Combat's up next. George, what's the most disappointing moment in your e-wrestling career?
God. Maybe the Bandits podcast?
Too hot for TV.
For TV. Not even Jerry could touch that one.
That's right. Plenty of titties with Bobby Dean around.
Yeah. I don't know. Some stupid loss. Not some stupid loss. I guess flaking and the Bandits breaking up and shit like that. I really don't have too many disappointing things, so I don't put too much stock into e-wrestling. Not that I don't care about the Fed and having fun and shit like that. It's just, I'm not going to, if I lose, I lose. Oh, well, that's fun.
Just because the Egg Bandits break up doesn't mean you're not in Egg Bandits chat bullshitting with those guys.
The chat's still going on. The Bandits have been together, and I don't know. It's going to be fun getting them back together, though. We've gone long enough, I think. We'll see. Time will tell. There was a crazy idea that we were going to come back, and it was going to be Zeb who was going to be the figurehead at the top of the food chain. It was crazy. Like, everybody left the chat except Zeb. It was weird.
I wonder who pitched this idea. It's crazy. Sorry, Jake.
Oh God! No, I actually.
You blocked him. You went a little further.
It'd be a neat idea, like in those what if Marvel comics. What if?
Like fan fiction.
Yes, was the leader of the Egg, like for a week. Let's give him a little taste of it, just so they can see how tremendously bad it would wind up being.
It's like when Al Snow was like taking some of Mick Foley's shine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. No room there's no room. There's no room for him now.
Love you, Jake.
I wish there was, but there's no room.
All right. George, if you had the opportunity to be in an empty room with any legendary musician and have them put on an acoustic set, who would it be?
I guess me, the person?
Yes.
Any musician, acoustic set. Maybe Tom Petty, just because my wife would love it so much.
That'd be so fucking good.
I would just be sitting there just smoking fucking pot.
Just passing it to him.
I'll sing the next one, Tom.
Let's roll.
You take a fucking break now.
All right, pass me the guitar, Tom.
Yeah. Why are you taking my wife out of the room? This isn't what I signed up for.
Hold on.
Oh, this joint looks nice, though.
Is she just an Indiana girl from an Indiana town? All right.
It's better than saying, like, Limp Bizkit, right?
That's absolutely right. All right, Alex Smiley's up next. One of our sponsors of the show. Shout out to Alex.
Shout out to Alex. Love Alex. Alex is in How, right?
Yes, he is. I'm not sure who he is. Is Randall Schwartz?
I think he's the salad guy.
The salad guy.
Yeah. Xander, Triple X.
Yes, that's it. He's Randall Schwartz over at Classic Wrestling.
Oh, is that right? Randy.
Yeah. Randall.
Made the switch. Randy.
Randall. God damn it.
Well, regardless of what his name may or may not be.
All right.
Schwartz with him.
Alex Smiley. Wawa or Sheets?
Wawa.
How do you like your eggs?
Over easy. I mean, there's only one way. There's only fucking one way.
Because you're going over easy. Ha ha. Patreon.com/EFED
Nobody ever gets it,
podcast.
though. They're like, I'm more of an over medium guy. I'm like, no, idiot, think. Over easy. Do you get it? Like, what about like scrambled? Wouldn't that be like how you
Just explain
like
explain it to me like I'm
no,
five.
we don't attack people. We throw eggs. We don't attack people. It would be over easy. You get over easy on us. You don't understand? Oh, well. You try. You can try. That's all you can do.
Brock is back, and he wants to know why Sheets is better than Wawa.
Sheets is better than Wawa.
It is.
Is it?
Yeah, it's the best, especially on breakfast.
I literally had a Wawa breakfast sandwich today.
I had a Sheets breakfast sandwich today.
Today.
I'll fight you right now.
Today. Beautiful bagel, beautiful sausage, egg, and cheese.
Sausage, egg, and cheese muffin with egg whites. Banging.
Oh my god!
and their sausage is spicy, so it's.
Did you run 5 miles after you ate it too?
Do I look like I ran any miles?
Just 3 miles.
I ran as miles as Bobby Dean did today.
The better joke there would have been you ran as many miles as Bobby Dean has written role plays today.
I ran as many miles as Doozer has shown up for shows.
There you go.
Okay. All right, moving on. Why does Wawa keep shopping out of Sheets dumpster? Finally from Brock.
Oh, Brock. One man's trash.
His New Jersey's treasure.
His New Jersey's treasure. Yes, it is. They don't call us the armpit of the country for a reason, you know? We collect it here.
All right, from Classic Ben. Which way did he go, George? Which way did he go?
Who is Classic Ben? That's not Ben, is it?
No, it's not. Classic Ben is a former handler of Shoot Pop Pop.
Shoot Pop Pop.
Fun show or a fun fed shoot wrestling or yeah they have a fed out there. I've
drunk. Seen their website before.
Shoot Pop Pop,
definitely.
And now he is on the staff over at classicwrestling.com. Classic-wrestling.com.
I just got a text from Brock. It was 40 minutes.
He's messaging me too. He's fucking. I'm trying to ignore his ass, and he's messaging you because I'm ignoring him.
Let's hold on one second. Let me see.
He says, does it make air or is it totally fucked? And I said, so far so good, 40 minutes in. And he sent me Morgan Freeman. Well, good luck.
Bobby just said his power went out an hour ago because there's a storm in Texas. That's how we shitting on Texas, apparently.
It's a Texas tornado, I guess you could say.
It's just a tornado. Did you know, I knew this, but I didn't know it, till years later. He only had half a foot.
Who?
Just tornado?
He didn't have any foot.
It was cut off.
Yeah, he lost it at the ankle.
I thought it was like here.
Check this interview out on patreon.com/EFED podcast to see George's foot in full living color.
Ugly ass foot.
All right. Moving on from Brock, because he is trying to steal the show now.
He's trying to get it on this my thunder here.
He's also one of the people who tried to call in during the interview.
Who else wanted to call on? It was him, Bobby?
It was him and Ben who did the Which Way Did He Go, George?
Just to ask that question.
And then, I don't remember because I'm drunk. There was a third one.
What's the third? Probably Lee, if I had to guess, because he likes talking to me all the time.
Probably. What a dick. Love you, Lee.
He'll never listen to this, don't worry.
No, fuck no. He ain't listening to this shit.
I could say
he puts a link on his website. I'm happy. Fuck it.
I will donate $100 to the site if you listen to this. But you gotta, I will donate $100 to the house site.
Linz is gonna tell him. Watch out.
Linz will tell Linz. I'll know.
All right. Speaking of, next question is from Join Your Local Grapplers Union. It's Linz.
Let me get a beer for Mom's questions.
All right, beer for Mom. Over under on how many times you'll tell Dews to sleep on it now that he's back in How. I love that that's not just a Bandits joke anymore. I know that joke. Linz knows the joke.
I would say since he's come back, which has been 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks now. Not matches wise, but just been, what about this?
He's been in chat.
Yes. I don't think I've hit the sleeper on him like too often. So, you can't, you got to be like, oh, that's a good idea. And then talk him out of it a couple days later. Like, nah, that really wasn't a good idea. If you sleep him now, he'll get discouraged. And you know what happens when he gets discouraged. Everybody knows what happens. Oh, wait a second. You shady pig. It's here.
No, I'm trying. I doubt he answers, but I'm trying. Doozer is unavailable. All right, we tried.
Okay. That would have been great if you answered.
It would have been so perfect.
As I'm in the middle of just taking a shit right
on him.
We were friends.
What was great was Bobby Dean told me the story of Sleep on It long ago, and then I got into a chat with him and Doozer, and he asked me something, and I said I'll sleep on it, and he had no idea, he didn't expect it from me, and he just fucking lost his shit. It was great.
You got him.
All right.
Where we gonna do this?
We'll sleep on it, buddy.
Let's sleep on it for
see how we feel about tomorrow.
Yeah. Sun could be out tomorrow. You never know.
I've heard optimists say that. All right. Up next from Linz. What's your dream feud?
Dream feud. Probably Dews. Long good.
Long fucking full story.
Long, grind of bloody.
History,
it would be like,
bullshit, brawling, fun stuff.
How could we get it to the finishes? They shake hands, they fucking hug, and that's it. But how do we get to nobody would ever think that they would do that shit? They would be cordial again.
Yeah.
How do we get it so filthy,
so personal?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, how do we, which with the Giles Bobby Dean feud, which was going to happen before I stupidly won the world title.
What an idiot.
Was set up so perfectly to do that because he's, Giles screwing over Bobby and then Bobby screwing over Giles in the title match. I think this is great. This match between Bobby Dean and Giles could be this bloodbath, and everybody would be like, well, it makes total sense. They fucking hate each other. And, you get those two characters and just a great payoff match of you get to just beat the shit out of each other, guys. Have fun, write whatever the fuck you want. Like, I would definitely have Giles eat fucking Bobby's dickhead finisher just to be like, fuck you, it still didn't work. And, Giles wins the match, obviously, but because he sucks the dick. And sucks the dick to win a match. Would have been first half.
A lot of stipulations in wrestling. Oh, shit. All right. What's your favorite RP you've written in the last year, George, from Linz?
I have no idea. I'll say the last one. My last RP.
Even though you lost?
Yeah, well, I could care less about it. I've actually, you know what I would say? The HOFC RP I wrote, because you have 750 words, and I wasted half of it making fun of somebody on my team. Because, well, fuck that, it's fun. Of course not, we still want
I know another place where 750 words prevails.
Oh my goodness.
All right.
We don't say. Isn't Lee there too? I think the plan was if
Lee joined and then no showed and quit. Probably.
No, he pulled him back.
To be fair, I did the same thing in Hal once, so it's fine.
You're even now. You guys are even.
We're even. It was probably he probably had enough foresight to see that coming.
Who else from Hal's over there? Anybody?
We got Brunk.
Is he handling Dan Ryan?
He's not. He's handling a new character, Scott Hunter, who just posted a fucking hilarious role play. It was so good.
Scott Hunter.
Yeah, so good.
I know who I'm writing about in my next high octane role play.
Yeah, check it out.
Rookie upstart Scott Hunter.
We also got Alex. There? No, mom's not there. We also got Alex Smiley. He's handling Randall Schwartz, not Xander XXX.
XXX.
Who else we got? That's over in How. We got Murr. We got Perfection. We got Stevie. All the 24K guys that were formerly in How. I gotta get Bobby Dean over there. I got him in the chat, but Doozer tried to join, aka tried. He said, "I'm gonna grab George and we're gonna tag team."
Well, he was telling me about it. He was trying. I was like, dude, I can't join the Fed. I'm the fucking world champ.
Well, now you're not. So here we go.
Classic-wrestling.com. Tag team champ coming up next.
Well, listen, we're looking for face tag teams.
Well, we could do that.
750 words each.
Prancer Giles.
Listen, one booking a month. Come on now.
Is that was it 2 shows bi-weekly?
It's bi-weekly, yeah. I got enough people that I can only book so many per show. All right, so come on over, classic-wrestling.com. I'm not going to ask you on the air, but I'm going to force you. Anyway. Finally, from Lynn's, F, Mary, Kill, Brock, Doozer, Harrison.
What did I say for Doozer the first time?
You killed him the first time.
Was it a kill?
Pretty decisively.
I guess I would, in this case, in this scenario.
Now that Harrison's involved.
It's different with Harrison. And now Clay, after his series of Sheets questions, is now on my shit list, if you will. I would marry Doozer.
Even though he's going to leave you, he's always going to come back.
He ain't going nowhere. He can't. Those old legs, those old bones. He's in a wheelchair. He's on the second floor. He can't go nowhere.
So you're marrying Doozer.
I'm marrying my high school sweetheart. I'm killing my recent affair, so I can marry my high school sweetheart. And I'm just gonna, and then I'll fuck Clay Bird, I guess. There you go.
At this point,
fuck Clay Bird. I mean, how can you not say fuck Clay Bird? I
mean, he deserves it at this point.
Exactly. And his sheets, by the way, and on the deli counter of his sheets. That's where I'll do the deed on Clay Bird.
It's sheets all the way. That's what we got from the crowd, George. This was a blast.
Is that what we got?
That's what we're done. Yeah.
Oh well.
I
thought we were gonna be. Well, I guess we started at 9. It's 2 hours. It's not bad.
No,
we didn't really ramble.
No, the cap is 2 hours, and we're an hour 42 in, so we're in good shape. Before I let you go, anything else you want to shout out to? Anybody you want to, pass good words on to or shit on before we go?
I will take this opportunity not to shit on anyone and say I love the e-wrestling community. They are fantastic.
Check out HOWrestling.com. High Octane Wrestling is a great fed. Check them out on Twitch.
Twitch.
Twitch.tv/HOWrestling.com or HOWrestling.
Something like that.
Check them out. Lee does a great job. I've been influenced by Lee as a Fed head, and now I'm doing some of the same stuff that he does. So shout out to Lee. He's innovative. He does a great job. He's very invested in his Fed, and he does great graphics. I mean, Hal's graphics are bar none the best graphics in e-wrestling. Best
in the business.
Shout out to Lee.
Absolutely. Time and effort goes into it, and you can tell.
George, thanks so much for doing the interview, buddy. I had a blast talking to you, and I'm looking forward to interacting more.
Absolutely, bro. It's been a fucking hoot. Thank you for having me. I'd love to be back again.
All right.
Maybe I'll interrupt on the Doozer interview whenever that never happens.
Well, that was supposed to happen like 30 episodes ago. So
30 episodes ago.
He's
That means it's coming up. It's coming up now. Then.
He's out.
It's usually like a 30, 34 week rotation where he'll show up and be fine.
I'll give him another shot, but we'll see if he shows up for it. So until next time, guys, this is the Efed Podcast.
Cheers.
I'm Mikey Unlikely. This is George. We're having a great time.
Love you, Mom.
What a fun interview with George. Had a blast. Had a few beers too many. Had a great time. Hopefully you did too, listening in.
A few beers too many, but obviously not quite as many as the Egg Bandits interview.
Not that many.
Which cannot be aired. It's too hot for TV. It's too hot for podcasts. You're going to have to go over to the Patreon. And literally, folks, not a gimmick, not an angle. We're not working you. We legit cannot air it to the public. We're going to need you to come pay like HBO
for that raw material.
100%. Because once you pay, I mean, you know what you're getting into.
But check out. I'm glad you checked out George's interview here today. The Bobby Dean episode's also available earlier in our archives, as well as Jake's. Boobie. So all the Egg Bandits individually are fine, but it's when you get them together that shit starts to go down.
It's a whole fucking thing where they all come together.
It's a whole
they form like an offensive Voltron.
Amen. So, guys, thank you very much for listening to this week's episode. Thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to our patrons. We appreciate you. We wouldn't be here without you, and we hope to see you around the Discord. We're doing the Patreon events, guys. We're going to get more involved and do some more stuff soon. Excited to get you in there. And as far as the Discord goes, what a great community we've got, Brian.
Fantastic. What did you say the other day? You went to go prune anyone who's not been active for 30 days and no one had been not active?
Zilch. Everybody in the room is active. 151 people, I believe, based on my last check. And we're excited to add you too. So if you're listening to this and you're not in the Discord, jump on in there. The link's in the profile of the Twitter. If it doesn't work, hit me up in the DMs and I'll get that updated and get you a link as well. Otherwise, guys, that's going to wrap us up for episode 75 of the Efed Podcast. Brian, we're 3/4 of the way to 100.
Woo!
I can't believe it. You can't believe it. Everyone listening didn't think it could happen, and here we are. We're going for 100. Tune in next week.
101 will be Big Joe GeoCities.
We'll get there, Brian. The show's not big enough for that guy. All right. Guys, Thanks for tuning in. Episode 75. For Brian, I'm Mikey Unlikely, where the wrestling is written, but the characters are real.
You've been listening to the Efed Podcast, only on the Atomic Jobcast Network, presented commercial free on Patreon.